Okay, this is day 10 of my 60-day challenge to myself to post on YouTube every single day about our adoption from Liberia. Short version is we're adopting 2 little girls from Liberia. We've been in that process for, let me get my day counter out, 652 days. Our daughters have been in an orphanage awaiting adoption for 993 days. We found out about them 569 days ago, and we're officially matched with them to pursue their adoption by our agency 555 days ago. So Adopt from Liberia, day 652, is also day 10 in the 2004 journey. So day 10 of my 60-day journey. When I started this YouTube video series of our adoption from Liberia, I wanted to serve as a real-time update of what's going on with international adoption, specifically in Liberia, from U.S. families right now, and some of the violations of foreign policy, also some of the issues there that could be better, and just orphan care in general and the way that it's changed for international adoptions in the U.S. And then immigration pressure. So since there's so many immigration social issues right now going on, that's a problem for our adoption, apparently. So the fact that our borders are not well maintained, which no matter what you think about immigration, it doesn't matter. Like when kids are adoptees, they're legally able to immigrate. They're being denied that right. So, and I'm being denied that right as their mother, which hasn't happened to me officially yet, but it is happening to friends of mine, and it's happened to other families, and it's just becoming pretty devastating. So there's that. But good news, we are traveling to Liberia February 12th to visit our kids. We plan to spend 3 weeks there. We're going to hug on them and get to know them and get to know their friends in their orphanage. If by some miracle, which I am hoping and praying for a miracle, we're able to bring them home on that trip, we're able to extend our trip to meet all the legal and social legal requirements of both countries to finish their adoption, we will definitely do that. Yesterday we went to the FedEx mailing place. We use this local pack and mail place that does FedEx and USPS as well, and also, you know, they have all the stuff, and they're very nice. And he said the guy that helps us is actually named Jeremy, like my husband, and if you guys need a good place like North Cape, North Fort Myers, let me know. This guy's fantastic. But he's helped us a lot in mail presents to the girls, and he's like, we're international, right? And we're like, no, this is actually staying in the US. And he's like, oh, really? Because he's used to helping us, but we're mailing our passports. So you have to mail your actual passport. There's a checklist of things that are common things that people do wrong. They don't send the payment in a cashier's check. We had to get an $800 cashier's check to cover all 5 travel visas. Basically, the travel visa the end result is a sticker on my passport that says I can come and go from Liberia for the next year as a tourist. So we let our 7-year-old sign her own passport because they were like, the best is for her to sign it herself if she can. So like if you're a 2-year-old, doesn't need to sign their passport. But she practiced her name several times, and she was like really writing it really slow, and it was so cute. My other kids signed their passports as well. They're 10. Both of them are 10. And that was fun, and I signed mine, and Jeremy signed his. That's the big thing, is you don't sign your passport, and that's the big thing. You have to mail it too. So you're mailing your entire passport to get a sticker. So a friend of ours that's also adopting from Liberia, they had sent their visas, and they had wanted to get them, and she like overnighted it December 21st. Overnight, it was received like December 21st or by their office, and she's like, okay, it's like January 10th and nothing's happened, and I'm nervous. And so I got on the website to see where their hours were, like if, you know, what days and stuff, because it's hard to get them on the phone. And Jeremy tried to call up just for like tips and tricks, and they didn't answer. But they were closed for the holidays from December 21st to January 5th. And they have a lot of bankers' holidays, like Flag Day, President's Day, Liberian President's birthday, like the first Liberian President's birthday they take off. So they're into their vacation days. But that was on the list, and she had not done that. So when I messaged her back, I was like, hey, no worries. I think yours is just still sitting there from the holidays, because it's 2 weeks, business weeks, basically, from the time they receive it. So if she sent it on the 21st, she's been like checking her, checking the tracking, trying to figure out when it's coming back, and like no dice. So she was worried about us because we already bought plane tickets. She does not have plane tickets in the works at the moment. She had plane tickets, and then she canceled them. So we'll fly from Nashville instead of Fort Myers, Florida, because we got to drop off the dog. This week we're headed to Nashville, and we're going to stay with some friends and make sure the dog doesn't eat anything important to them. My 4-year-old toddler dog. He's a big puppy. He's a blue tick coonhound, actually, but he's like red sort of too, and so he is a shelter dog. But that Blake Shelton song is really a George Jones song about Old Red. That's my dog. This is definitely all about my dog. That's exactly who he is genetically. Red hair, blue ticks, all in the South. Yeah, so that's who he is. I don't know why that's important for this video. It's not. I'm just a little nervous because we have a lot of things happening, and we hear a lot of rumors about what's happening with other families, and some delays there and some problems there. But I, you know, really want to plant seeds of peace with this, as angry as we can get about different things. I don't talk about my faith. I do, but not quite as much as I'm going to today. I'm going to talk a little bit more about my faith today than I normally do. Because number one, the reason that we adopt is because God adopted us. The reason that we choose adoption to add to our family is because God adopted us, and because kids are in need, and because it makes sense for us to grow our family in that way. And that's what we want to do. But the reason that we say yes to adoption is because of that call and that request by God that we do orphan care. So I want to read this verse to you. It's James 3:15 through 18, and then this is the Voice translation, so it's a little easier to understand, I think, for people that maybe aren't biblical scholars. I try to read the Bible. I wouldn't consider myself a biblical scholar, but the wisdom of this world should never be mistaken for heavenly wisdom. It originates below in the earthly realms with the demons. Any place where you find jealousy and selfish ambition, you will discover chaos and evil thriving under its rule. Heavenly wisdom centers on purity, peace, gentleness, deference, mercy, and other good fruits, untainted by hypocrisy. The seed that flowers into righteousness will always be planted in peace by those who embrace peace. The wisdom of this world, I think, is reigning in our adoption, because there's fear-driven things that talk about, you know, there's a lot of fear-driven stuff that are happening, you know, fear-driven decisions. Well, what if we ask too much? I mean, you know, what if we ask too many times, are we going to make the U.S. State Department mad? If we ask too many times, is the embassy just going to blow us off? If we ask too many times, no, goodness, no. We're American citizens. We can ask all we want. We're free. Freedom of speech. Speak away. Peacefully speak away. Today I'm wearing this noonday necklace. This was made by trafficking victims at Silver. If you want to buy one, the proceeds of that purchase will go to help our adoption costs, because I sell noonday. And then this is my Dizo shirt. Dizo is a child that was adopted by a friend of mine that I call the whoops adoption, because he was kind of like an add-on after her paperwork was done, and his adoption was completed in 7 months, start to finish. From the time she looked at his file to the time that he was sitting in her living room as in Tennessee was 7 months. So it can be done, and that was in 2022, not that long ago. But you know, it's he was able to jump onto a process that had been going on for his his older sister, not his biological sister, but just, you know, they were both in the orphanage together. Her paperwork was done, but they were able to add him on as a separate case, but sort of piggyback onto her adoption, and her adoption took years. So there's that, but it doesn't change the fact that his took 7 months, so it is possible for sure. Okay. I also want to read Psalm 112, 5 through 10. Good comes to those who lend money generously. That's not a fundraising ploy, by the way. Like, if you want to give money to our adoption, of course, the link's always in the description. If you want to learn more about our story, obviously the updates are there too, and the link's in the description. A lot of it links back to these YouTube videos, but it also has a blog and some other updates, and you can see the list of everyone that's donated that chose to put their name in their comments. But Psalm 112, 5 through 10 says, good comes to those who lend money generously and conduct their business fairly. I want to stop right there. We are begging the U.S. government and the U.S. Embassy in Liberia and the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs in Liberia to conduct their business fairly. Follow the rules, follow the guidelines, do the job that you're being paid to do. Do it well, like do it with vigilance, do it with diligence, read the reports, do it. But don't do it wrong, you know. Good comes to those who lend money generously and conduct their business fairly. Such people will not be overcome by evil. Those who are righteous will be long remembered. They do not fear bad news. They confidently trust the Lord to care for them. They are confident and fearless and can face their foes triumphantly. So when we say like we're confident and fearless and we trust God to care for us, that doesn't mean we're going to sit in a fetal position ball and just wait. Face their foes triumphantly means that we do get up. We do fight too. We do join in the battle that God has asked us to join into. Because if you're not joining in and you're not on either side, then you're on a side. You're just on the one that's not fearless. You're on the fearful side. If you stay home and if you're scared to ask your congressional leaders, we live in a free country. Like if you're scared to pursue your own, if you're scared to use your own voice because of your own self-imposed fears, that is not from God, and it is not acceptable, and it's not the right thing to do. And if you're an American citizen and you're watching this today and you're just watching, you're like, I just don't think I should get involved. You should get involved. That's why you're here. That's why you're watching this. That's why you're led to this video somehow by some type of algorithm. Like, we need you too. You need to do stuff too. They are confident and fearless and they can face their foes triumphantly. They share freely, give generously to those in need. Their good deeds will be remembered forever. They will have influence and honor. The wicked will see this and be infuriated. They will grind their teeth in anger. They will slink away, their hopes thwarted. I do think there's a lot of evil powers that had hopes for our children to be their tools for evil. And when I say this is my Dizo shirt, we made these shirts. These are Adoption Rocks fundraising shirts that, you know, I don't know if you can, trying to hide my double chin as much as possible, but it's just not going to be hidden. I guess I could wear, like, I don't know what to do to hide my double chin. Maybe you guys can just embrace it and love it. But my Dizo, we sold these line of t-shirts, and whenever I'm feeling a little bit blue, I put on this sweatshirt. And consider that adoptions can take place in 7 months. And mine is past that. Actually, Dizo's could have taken place in 5 months, if I remember correctly. There was a little bit of a delay in when my friend could travel to go get him, just because of what she had to take care, like childcare for her other children was a thing. So, in their school, you know, there were some issues that had to take place that pushed it to June instead of April, I believe. So it could have been 4.5 to 5 months. So I say that to say that it's possible, and we need to keep that in mind. And what's possible and what's likely oftentimes is the loudest spark. And I'm not asking you to bite. I'm not asking you to like go protest anywhere. I'm asking you to write a letter to congressional leadership. If you want to email me your zip code and your email address, I will send you a template form and exactly who your leadership is. If you don't know, a lot of people don't know. Because we live in peace. We're living in peace right now, so we don't really know who our leaders are because we don't care. We know who our president is. We emailed him. We know who our governors are. I mean, it's just us from watching the news. You know, that's not really like most American people. We don't have to care that much who our leadership is because we're not trying to overthrow them. Liberia is at peace right now. They just put in a new president. They're at peace. That's a big deal for them to maintain, and I mean, we're proud of them. Keep going, Liberia. But every day I say these videos are going to be 5 minutes, and every day they're not. I just want to say that we did on Facebook a Facebook event with our friends and family that wanted to be involved to do a 24-hour prayer event for our kids, specifically for their adoption, just to focus the next 24 hours. And we're into the first hour of that. 1 hour's passed, and Aggie, my friend Aggie, was the first one. And God bless her for that. And Aggie lives in Uganda, and she's my friend through Noonday Collection and through some other friends. And, you know, she knows the importance of orphan care and adoption. But the reason we're adopting these kids is because God adopted us and gave us a chance. And I hope that you'll stand with us on this. I hope that you'll watch the YouTube videos. I hope you'll subscribe and share. And please broaden our platform here to speak for these kids. Pure and genuine religion in the sight of God the Father is caring for widows and orphans and refusing to let the world corrupt you. And that last sentence, refusing to let the world corrupt you, it's not easy. It's not. But probably like moving forward on these videos, I am going to talk about my faith more in God to do this. I'm going to talk about the fact that all of my kids, every kid's miraculous, I guess, but there's Mommy's favorite plan, who was our oldest that we adopted at birth. Mommy's favorite, and the fact that a family would choose us to parent their child is just humbling and miraculous. Then there's Mommy's favorite surprise after multiple infertility diagnoses, and like, you know, not so miracles happen, probably not for you. Like, this is pretty dismal unless you're willing to do, like, I don't know. They told us IVF wasn't an option, IUI wasn't an option. They were like, we're gonna have to be looking at, you know, DNA donations to get this done if you want to carry, and all of that to say that we have 2 biological children that showed up after our adoption child showed up, and they were all here within 37 months time. So I know how quickly you could go from 0 to 3. And I also know how quickly we can go from 3 to 5, from 3 to 5. And I know that there is something that God is trying to defeat with the current Liberian orphans that are in process now and their families. There is something that he has targeted and chosen to battle through and capitalize on during our kids' adoption. And I don't think it's just because of me. I think it's me. I think it's Amanda Kramer. I think it's Victoria Butler. I think it's other families that are in limbo right now, so to speak, where they can't really complete their adoption. They're kind of living under the governmental unknown timelines of adoption right now that aren't supposed to exist. You know, they're not supposed to be like this. I believe that God has decided, you know what? All of these families are going to be assembled, and I'm going to use them. I'm going to use their voices. I'm going to use their strength. I'm going to use their resources. I'm going to use their knowledge, both legal, spiritual, physical, international, and social. You know, one of them's in Indonesia. Carrie's in Indonesia, offering. She's adopting from Liberia. She's an American citizen. I mean, there's so many that are coming together. Montana, there's so many, and I'm not even mentioning all their names right now, but the ones that I've mentioned, they are Anna, my friend Anna, that's adopting 2 little girls that are friends with our kids in the orphanage. We've been sending packages for all 4 girls and try to make sure that they know they'll be living close to each other since they are familiar with each other now. There's a reason that God chose to shed light on something that he's trying to shed light on while we are all assembled here. And as much as I just want my kids home, that's the selfish ambition, but that's not all I want. I want all 38 of the orphans that are sitting in that children's home, and the other 30 to 60 that are sitting in the other 2 children's homes combined with other agencies. I don't really know the details of their capacity. I think it's similar. I want them to experience freedom. I want them to have a family that loves them. I want them to come out from under orphanism and step into being sons and daughters. I want that for them. And if that means that the strength of personality, the strength of influence, the strength of confidence that has to be assembled by these families that are in limbo right now, that are fighting for their kids' futures, if that's what it takes, if that's the trial that we have to go through to see this victory, then I just want to say thank you to God for choosing us for that. We're going to do a good job. If you want to give a tax-deductible donation to our adoption or to any other adoption, click on the link below. It's a bit.ly Adopt Faster. It links to our Adopt Together account. It is a crowdfunding site just for our family. There are other families that are adopting as well. The Godfrey family, the, gosh, yeah, Sela's assembled with us as well in this, the Godfrey family, the Atkinson family, the Beekler family. There's several families that are on the Adopt Together site. And if you're local, we're still recycling clothing and textiles and getting money in exchange for clothing and textiles. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for your help. If you want to contact your congressional leadership, please email me or comment below and I'll get in touch with you. You can email me at adopt100more@gmail.com. It's adopt100more@gmail.com. And I wonder if there is 100. I always like that. That's my bucket list, is to facilitate 100 adoptions or help 100 adoptions. And we've finished 23 so far, just in my lifetime. That's my bucket list. But I wonder right now, if you added up all the kids in our orphanage, the kids in the 2 other orphanages, and then Sela has an orphanage as well that she sponsors that needs families as well that are even close to being matched, because they don't really have an agency facilitating with them full-time yet. There's one helping with one right now. Let me know. But I wonder if it's 100. Could be. I want to read one more verse before I turn this off, because we're into the 2nd hour of our prayer event vigil. So I wanted to make sure that this verse, Psalm 82, 3 and 4. Give justice to the poor and the orphan. Uphold the rights of the oppressed and the destitute. Rescue the poor and helpless. Deliver them from the grasp of evil people. So when God asks us to give justice to the poor and the orphan, that means that the poor and the orphan do not have justice. They do not have peace. They do not have fairness. They do not have legal equality. They don't have gender equality. They don't have food equality. They don't have wage equality. There's no equality. That is for those of us speaking from a place of privilege. And it is our job to guard that and to provide that for them, because if we don't, who is going to? Give justice to the poor and the orphan. Uphold the rights of the oppressed and the destitute. And that's why my friend Amanda Kramer, who her adoption's already complete, but she's helping us in so many ways. I think of her a lot when I think about the knowledge that she has to help us with the legal realm of this, deliver from the grasp of evil people. It's like she's a midwife delivering kids, because she's helping so much. And she's helping in ways that I wouldn't know where to start. It's just her military background and her knowledge of international foreign policy is helping us a lot. Rescue the poor and the helpless. Deliver them from the grasp of evil people. This is God talking, that this exists because of people. Not because of God, but because of people. And we have to rescue them from the grasp of evil people, because that's where they will be unless we rescue them from that grasp. That's Psalm 82, 3 and 4. And if you go on to read the rest of that chapter, it talks about the ignorance of people that are evil and how they're just walking around wandering in darkness, emotionally impulsive and not really steered by anything good. So, all that being said, at the end of the day, there's some mountains being moved right now. And I am convinced that before I finish this 60-day video, that we're going to see a lot of good things happen. And maybe every 60 days there's a lot of good things happening. I just haven't put it on a video or said anything about it. But to God in heaven, I do just want to say thank you for the opportunity to humbly sit in the place of being an adoptive parent. And we defer to your wisdom. Amen.